Welcome back, Cinephiles. My name's Robbie.
I'm Jeremy.
And today we're reviewing Battle of the Sexes. We're a bit late getting around to this one, but we're just a bit of catch-up, all finishing up the September releases. Hope you enjoy.
Hear the music.
Bond. James Bond.
Here's Johnny. Chewie, we're home.
We are privileged, tennis fans, to have the great Billie Jean King. Word is you are a renegade.
Women should be paid and respected equally.
I admire what you guys are doing.
You're offering the men's winner 8 times what you're offering the women's winner.
The men are simply more exciting to watch. It's just biology.
I am not saying that women don't belong on the court. Who would pick up the balls otherwise?
Oh my God.
You know what I'm doing? I'm cooking. I'm cooking!
There isn't a single thing I don't hate about Bobby Riggs.
$100,000 to any woman who can beat Bobby Riggs. Is she out there and does she have the nerve?
Call Bobby. Tell him it's on.
Battle of the Sexes is directed by Jonathan Dayton and Valerie Faris, and it stars Emma Stone and Steve Carell.
Yeah, the story based around a 1973 tennis match between Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs. It was pretty infamous at the time. Like, it was essentially the battle of the sexes. Billie Jean King was the #1 tennis player in women's tennis, and Bobby Riggs was like, he was an older fellow who you know, sort of stole the show in his day and became one of the best tennis players of all time. And it's a true story, obviously, and it's pretty much, the story itself follows both of the characters quite closely, and leads up to the big tennis match at the end. And yeah, like, it was pretty good. Like,
yeah, like, I thought it was quite a compelling story. I just thought it just didn't quite go as far as it should have with some of the more dramatic, heavy scenes. Because there's a lot more to this film than just the rivalry on the tennis court.
Yeah.
There's a whole subplot of how women were treated at the time, like their role in society pretty much, and also Emma Stone's own, like her character Billie Jean King, her own personal trouble she was going through, you know, coming to terms with who she was as a person, and a lot of inner demons and things like that. And it just seemed to sometimes not quite know which direction it wanted to go in.
yeah, I do agree with that, and also with Bobby Riggs as well. Like, he was like a massive gambling addict, and he didn't quite at the time sort of have anyone to, like, stay with, almost. Like, his wife left him right before he started to play tennis again, and he didn't have anywhere to stay, and it shed a bit of light on that, but I think, like you said, it didn't quite, you know, there could have been more done.
Yeah.
With showing that storyline, as opposed to just being about this massive tennis match between men and women, basically.
Yeah, it felt like it was almost scared to really go for it at times.
Yeah.
And it almost felt a bit like a daytime movie sometimes. Like, it didn't have that. I mean, you got A-class actors in this movie, and it just didn't quite feel. It didn't quite gel together. Something about it.
Yeah.
Not that's not a bad movie. It's a very good movie. It could have been a bit better.
Yeah, like, the acting was good. It just that those actors, Steve Carell and Emma Stone, probably didn't deserve to be in such a poorly made film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost comparing kind of like Meryl Streep in The Iron Lady, where she was so good, the movie didn't deserve that kind of performance.
Yeah.
And this is a similar thing.
Yeah. There was a few scenes that it was just too much, and like the haircut scene, for example, was just really, like, it went on for too long, and they were trying really hard, and it just didn't deliver.
Yeah, and that's what I mean before when I was saying it didn't seem to know what direction to go in, because it seemed to be going down one way, and then as it's building up, it just cuts something completely different, and then that's building up and then cuts again, and you're like, it didn't really like blend the two elements of the film together that well. It felt like two separate films that were just kind of like cutting between each other most of the times. And I mean, yeah, like I said, the performances were fantastic. Steve Carell was a bit of a jerk, putting it mildly, which we've seen him do before in other movies, and like the way back he was the most likable character. But Emma Stone was fantastic, and she's good at playing these kind of strong characters. She did in The Help, she did in La La Land, and here she does it again, and where it's a really driven performance, and she's fantastic at these kind of things, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's up for an Oscar for this role even. But I thought it did take a little while to get to the whole Bobby Riggs, Billie Jean King rivalry. It took longer than I expected. I thought it'd come in closer to like the first half hour, but it was at least an hour into the film before anything really starts to heat up between them. And it just seemed to take, you could have trimmed a few things out of there. I get it was setting things up, but it was kind of pointless setting up. It wasn't really going anywhere at times. Did you feel that?
Yeah, no, I did. It does focus on, like, it tries to focus on other issues other than the actual tennis match between the two of them. To be honest, there isn't really much contact between the two characters until the last 45 in the final act, where there's the actual tennis match. So,
and you can almost tell the screenplay is aware of that, and it's trying to find ways to get them to keep the film going, and you can just feel it's kind of like almost clutching at straws sometimes, just trying to, okay, how can we just get from here to here and make it entertaining. The other performances in the film were fantastic. Sarah Silverman, Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman, for once, wasn't a likable character. He was a complete jerk in this movie. But like I said, it was some bits were excellently done, and then other bits weren't just quite where they could have been. And it's not so much to do with the directing. The directing was good. I think it was more just down to the screenplay. Because you can have amazing directors, but if you don't have a good screenplay to work with, there's only so much you can do with that. And Jonathan Dayton and Valerie Faris are most famous for Live in the Sunshine, which was a brilliant movie. So they've obviously got the talent, and it just didn't quite. Something was missing here. But overall, like, a few pacing issues definitely could have been a bit better.
It's a good story that that probably just could have been done a bit better.
Yeah.
So what did you rate it?
I give it 3.5 stars.
Yes, I agree, 3.5 stars.
When we dare to want a little bit more, just a little bit of what you've got, that's what you can't stand.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna put the show back in chauvinism.
He can talk all he likes. Dinosaurs can't play tennis.
40 million people are watching. Any last words?
I'm done talking. Let's play.
The battle you've all been waiting to see. The battle of the sexes.
That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you head over to our Facebook page and leave us a like, comment and subscribe below. For now, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Robbie.
And we'll see you at the movies.